Imagine your brain as a dynamic duo, two characters working behind the scenes. We call them System 1 and System 2. System 1 is fast, intuitive, and emotional. It acts instinctively, like dodging a ball or reading facial expressions. Think of it as your brain's autopilot. On the other hand, System 2 is slow, deliberate, and logical. It kicks in when we solve complex problems or learn new skills. Imagine System 2 as your inner Sherlock Holmes, carefully analyzing clues. These two systems constantly interact, shaping our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Understanding their interplay is key to making better decisions and navigating the complexities of life. System 1 is the constant companion guiding us through most of our day. It's the reason we can drive a familiar route while daydreaming or catch a falling object without conscious thought. This system relies on heuristics, mental shortcuts, to make quick judgments. While efficient, these shortcuts can lead to biases. For example, imagine hearing a loud noise. System 1 might instantly interpret it as a threat, triggering a fear response before we consciously process the sound. System 1 is also responsible for our gut feelings and intuitions. These can be valuable, honed by experience, but they can also mislead us. Think of the last time you had a hunch that turned out to be wrong. System 2 is the thoughtful counterpart to System 1's impulsivity. It's our inner skeptic, questioning assumptions and weighing evidence. When we solve a math problem, plan a trip, or resist a tempting dessert, System 2 is hard at work. This system demands effort and focus. Thinking statistically, analyzing complex arguments, or learning a new language all require System 2's deliberate processing. Because it's effortful, System 2 is often lazy, preferring to let System 1 take the reins. However, by engaging System 2, we can override impulsive reactions, make more rational choices, and challenge our own biases. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that arise from our brain's tendency to simplify information processing. These biases, often driven by System 1's need for speed, can lead to flawed judgments and decisions. For example, confirmation bias is our inclination to favor information confirming our existing beliefs while ignoring contradictory evidence. This bias can lead us to make poor decisions, especially in situations where objectivity is crucial. The availability heuristic is another common bias. It causes us to overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily recalled, often due to their vividness or emotional impact. For instance, after watching a news report about a shark attack, we might overestimate the chances of being attacked ourselves, even if it's statistically improbable. Section 5. The Siren Song of Social Media. Biases in the digital age. Social media platforms, with their constant streams of information and carefully curated images, are breeding grounds for cognitive biases. The bandwagon effect, our tendency to conform to the actions or beliefs of others, is amplified in the online world. Similarly, the availability heuristic is heightened on social media. We're bombarded with news of other people's successes, travels, and perfect lives, leading us to believe that these experiences are the norm rather than the exception. Social media can also fuel confirmation bias. By surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals and filtering out opposing viewpoints, we create echo chambers that reinforce our existing beliefs, even if they are inaccurate or harmful. Section 6. Impulse purchases and buyer's remorse. The price of fast thinking. Ever walked into a store for a few essentials and walked out with a cart full of unplanned purchases? That's System 1, the master of impulse at work. Marketing tactics, like limited time offers and eye-catching displays, are designed to trigger this impulsive behavior. Buyer's remorse, that sinking feeling after making a purchase, often sets in when System 2 finally catches up and questions the necessity of our spending spree. Understanding this interplay between our fast and slow systems can help us become more mindful consumers. By pausing before making a purchase, considering its long-term value, and resisting the allure of marketing ploys, we can make more rational spending decisions. Section 7. Love. Actually, biased. How our hearts fool our heads. Even our most profound emotions, like love and attraction, are not immune to cognitive biases. The halo effect, for example, leads us to attribute positive qualities to people we find physically attractive. We might assume attractive individuals are also intelligent, kind, and trustworthy, even without evidence to support these assumptions. Confirmation bias can also sabotage our relationships. We might interpret our partner's actions through a biased lens, focusing on evidence that confirms our existing beliefs about them, while downplaying or ignoring contradictory information. By recognizing these biases, we can approach relationships with more objectivity and understanding. Open communication, active listening, and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions are crucial for building healthy and fulfilling connections. Section 8. Slow down to wise up. Tips for better decision-making. So how can we harness the power of our two thinking systems to make better decisions? The key is to find a balance between System 1's speed and System 2's deliberate analysis. First, cultivate awareness. Recognize that cognitive biases are inherent to our thinking processes. By simply acknowledging their existence, we can begin to identify and challenge them. Second, slow down. Don't let System 1 make all the decisions. When faced with a choice, especially an important one, pause and engage your System 2. Ask questions, gather information, and consider different perspectives. Third, challenge your assumptions. Our brains love to create narratives and jump to conclusions. Practice questioning your own beliefs and seeking out diverse viewpoints. This will help you avoid confirmation bias and make more informed decisions. Section 9. Real-life wins. How understanding bias leads to better outcomes. The benefits of understanding our cognitive biases extend to various aspects of life. Imagine a doctor diagnosing a patient. Awareness of the availability heuristic might prevent them from misdiagnosing a common illness as a rare one simply because they recently treated a similar case. In the business world, understanding the anchoring bias, our tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive, can lead to better negotiations. By setting a favorable anchor early on, negotiators can influence the other party's perception of value. Even in our personal lives, recognizing the negativity bias, our tendency to focus on negative experiences over positive ones, can improve our well-being. By consciously cultivating gratitude and focusing on the good, we can shift our perspective and lead happier, more fulfilling lives. Section 10. Thinking about thinking. Your brain on a diet of mindfulness. Our brains, like our bodies, thrive on a healthy diet. In the digital age, with its constant distractions and information overload, it's more important than ever to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about becoming aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting swept away by them. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more attuned to our thought patterns, recognize when we're falling prey to biases, and make more conscious choices. So, the next time you find yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, making an impulse purchase, or judging someone based on first impressions, remember System 1 and System 2. Remember the biases that color our perceptions. By becoming more aware of our thinking processes, we can make choices that align with our values and lead us closer to the lives we want to live. Now here's a question for you. How can you apply these concepts to your own life? What changes can you make today to become a more mindful thinker?